Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that's been a massive pain point in crypto for, well, forever: security. For years, the whole system has revolved around the seed phrase, those 12 secret words that are basically the keys to your kingdom. But what if that whole idea is just outdated and broken? All right, let's get into it.
Just let that sink in for a second. In this crazy digital world we live in, is the master key to all your crypto wealth literally scribbled on a piece of paper, tucked away in a sock drawer or maybe a safe if you're lucky? It sounds kind of wild when you say it out loud, doesn't it? This one little point of failure is one of the biggest sources of anxiety in this whole space, and it's exactly the problem we're going to unpack today.
So yeah, let's jump right in. Section 1, the paper password problem. And look, this isn't just some newbie mistake. This is a deep, fundamental issue that has affected everyone, from the person just starting out to the most hardcore crypto vet.
What I love about this quote is just how blunt it is. It cuts right through all the technical jargon. We're not talking about some sophisticated Mission Impossible style hack here. We're talking about the simple, absolutely terrifying risk of a house fire, a flood, or heck, just forgetting where you put that little piece of paper. The end result is always the same. Your funds are gone, and they're not coming back.
And this really gets to the heart of the conflict, doesn't it? The big promise of crypto is always be your own bank. Total freedom, total control. But for so many people, the reality turned into something else. You also have to be your own head of security, your own Fort Knox, and you're constantly living with this low-level hum of anxiety about that one fragile piece of paper.
And it just keeps building from there, because the problem is so much bigger than just the seed phrases. It's this whole juggling act. You've got wallet fragmentation, you need MetaMask for your Ethereum stuff, Phantom for Solana, maybe another one for Tron. Then there's the dreaded gas fees. You know that feeling, right? When you're totally stuck because you don't have like 50 cents of the right network token. And on top of all that, you have the risk of just leaving your money on an exchange so you can trade. It's just a complete mess.
But what if we could just leave all that behind? This is where the big shift is supposed to happen. We're talking about moving away from that stressful, complicated past and stepping into something totally new, the keyless era. A whole new way of thinking that's designed to fix these problems from the ground up.
Ha! I love this. The visual just says it all, right? The old way, the paper, the clunky hardware wallets, it's literally being put in a museum. It creates this powerful feeling that technology has moved on, and if you're not careful, you're going to get left behind with something that's just not secure anymore.
So if not the 12 words, then what? Well, the new keys are things you already use dozens of times a day. Your Google account, your Face ID, or your Fingerprint. A lot of this is powered by some really cool tech called multi-party computation, or MPC. The simple version is that your key gets split into pieces. One piece stays on your phone, another piece might be tied to your Google login. That means a hacker can't just steal one thing, your seed phrase, and take all your money. It makes security as simple and intuitive as just unlocking your phone. Your face is your password. It's that easy.
Okay, but this is absolutely crucial. Making things simple can't mean you give up control, and that's why it's so important to get that this is a non-custodial wallet. All that really means is that you, and only you, have the ultimate control over your crypto. Think of it like this. It's the difference between putting your gold in a bank's vault versus keeping it in your own safe at home. This system keeps you firmly in the driver's seat. It's your keys, your crypto. Period.
All right, so the keyless login takes care of that giant seed phrase problem, but what about all those other headaches we were just talking about? This is where we get into some really cool rapid-fire solutions that are meant to fix the entire crypto experience.
Let's talk about gas fees first. We've all been there. You're trying to send, say, $50 of USDT, but the transaction fails because you don't have $2 of ETH to pay the fee. It is so frustrating. The solution here is a gasless protocol. It basically lets you pay the network fee using the same token you're already sending. So you're sending USD, you pay the fee in USD. The transaction just goes through, no more getting stranded.
Next up, the app juggling. Instead of bouncing between MetaMask and Phantom and who knows what else, the whole vision here is to bring it all under one roof. You can manage your stuff on Ethereum, Solana, Base, Arbitrum, Tron, everything, from one single clean screen. This is designed to be the end of that chaotic wallet swapping.
And it gets even cooler with Zen, which is like a personal AI assistant for your crypto. Imagine just typing in plain English, hey, buy $100 of Solana. But Zen's not just about convenience. It's also your security guard. It can scan smart contracts and check them against a huge database of known scams. If you're about to click on a malicious link or interact with a honeypot token, it'll flash a big red warning. It's pretty slick.
And finally, let's talk about that constant fear of waking up to an empty wallet. This solution brings in a concept that's super familiar from your regular bank, a daily spending limit. You can set a limit, let's say $100 a day. That way, even in an absolute worst-case scenario where a hacker gets in, they are physically blocked from draining your account. Now that is some real practical peace of mind.
So when you start putting all of these pieces together, the keyless login, the gasless stuff, the AI assistant, you start to see a much bigger picture taking shape. This isn't just about building a slightly better wallet. It's a totally different vision for how we're supposed to interact with crypto and Web3.
And here is that vision in a nutshell. The end game is to combine a multi-chain wallet, a gasless protocol, and a really powerful trading engine into one single, seamless experience. A true financial super app that you can carry around with you, right in your pocket.
Now, of course, at the heart of a project like this, you've often got a native token. In this case, we're looking at the STBL token. The total supply is capped at 1 billion. That's important because it creates scarcity. And as you can see, it's a pretty balanced split. 20% goes to the community through an airdrop, 20% is for making sure the market is liquid, and another 20% from marketing. The biggest chunk, that 40%, is held back in a reserve to support the project for the long haul.
This table really gives us the why behind those percentages. The airdrop is all about rewarding the early believers. The liquidity makes sure trading is smooth and stable, and that big 40% reserve, that's for future development. And what's really important is that it's vested and locked. All that means is it can't just be dumped on the market all at once. It gets released slowly over time, which helps prevent massive price drops. It's a whole strategy built for stability.
A solid foundation is awesome, but a project is only as strong as its plan for the future, right? So let's take a peek at the roadmap to see how this whole super app idea is supposed to actually become a reality.
So the whole journey is laid out in 4 phases. We're in phase 1 right now, the Genesis phase. Phase 2, which kicks off in early 2026, is all about expansion. Phase 3 is focused on mass adoption with mobile apps. And Phase 4, well, that's when things get really forward-thinking. We're talking about goals like a physical debit card and quantum-resistant security, which is just a really fancy way of saying they're planning for a future where even super powerful quantum computers can't crack the code.
And that kind of brings us to the big final question. This whole project is part of a much bigger trend we're seeing everywhere, a move towards making things simpler and bringing everything together. We've seen it with social media, we've seen it with shopping, and now it's coming for our finances. So as our digital lives just get more and more complex, is the future just destined to belong to these super apps that can tie it all together in one place? It's a huge question, and definitely something to chew on.